Hi, I'm Lou with another episode of My Car Story. Today we're at the greatest muscle car show on the planet, the Muscle Car and Corvette National in Rosemont, Illinois. Come on out to a great car show. You can see the description in the video. But I'm with Pete today. Pete, your last name?
Pete Wendt.
And Pete, what year, make, and model is this car?
It's a 1961 Studebaker Hawk.
And whose car is it really?
It's really my wife's car.
It's really Jackie's car.
Yeah.
So, and that'll explain the color, and you can't wait to hear the story on this color. So, Pete, come right alongside with me, and we're gonna take a look at the front of this car. So I'm gonna just drop this back here for a moment, and then I'm gonna step this way just a moment to show the front of that car. Keep moving back with me. Right there. All right. Now, why? Well, first of all, the color's striking. What's the color on this car?
It's called Flamingo.
Flamingo, and you can see why. And we're gonna show you in the trunk why she wanted this color and how much she liked this. So, one of the things with Jackie is she would go to car shows with you. That's what you guys would do when you were dating.
Absolutely.
So you had a car girl. Every guy number one is jealous, and sadly Jackie has passed.
Yeah.
But Jackie wanted this car. Come on with me. When you were at car shows, tell me the story here.
Well, when we were dating.
Step back just a bit so we can get all of it in.
Yeah. When we were dating, we didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah, sure.
So our option was to go to car shows, and I had an old Buick and an old Chevy truck that we would take. And I made a deal with her. I said, you know, if you find a car that you like,
yeah,
I can restore any car you like.
Yeah.
And she hunted and watched through, I don't know how many, 100 car shows, and saw finally a 1961 Studebaker Hawk in Flamingo, and fell in love with it. And that was the car she wanted. And so, little by little, we were saving for a wedding at the time.
Yeah.
And we actually found one.
You kind of made her an ultimatum.
And said, hey, we have an option. We can either buy this car, take the money we had saved up for the wedding, and buy the car.
By the way, speaking of the wedding, can you open the trunk for
Sure
a moment?
can.
People will see why I interrupted you. What is this?
It's a swatch of fabric from her bridesmaids' dresses.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she loved this color so much and loved this car so much that she went and matched fabric to a model of the car that we knew where it was.
Yeah.
To be able to get that particular color on her bridesmaids' dresses.
Yeah.
And so that's what she had the bridesmaids wear for our wedding.
In the color of the car she wanted.
Flamingo car that she wanted. Yeah.
Wow.
And so that was.
So she married the restorer.
I think the story is that she found the car she wanted, and as long as I would restore it for her, she'd marry me.
You were the guy. You had the restoration skill sets. So I just want to share, this was the car what it looked like before it was restored. And this is some of the Studebaker information on this car during that time.
That was the original release.
The original release. And these were options. Now tell me, she wanted this, she had certain qualifications for this.
Yeah, she was real specific. She wanted a car that had an automatic transmission. It needed to have a radio.
Okay, so she was checking this out, doing the highway fidelity. Go ahead.
So this car has the 8-tube, the better radio with the push buttons, and the rear seat speaker, which was an option, and the dual antennas, which were an option for this car.
Good choice, by the way, Jackie.
and she wanted air conditioning, and the car that we found actually had air conditioning, but it was a dealer installed setup from a 62, and it was wrong. So over the years, we managed to find all the new old stock pieces to put together a factory correct air conditioner for this car.
Wow, that's great. And this is just another brochure. And here's your Studebaker cars advanced ordering information. I wanted to show that.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, we'll close that. We'll close that trunk. Let's open up the interior, shall we? open up our interior. Wow, really nice. You do good work, Pete. I like those windows with the no sill like that.
Well, yeah, there's no dividing bar here.
Right.
So when you open that, you can open the wing window without having any obstruction in your view.
And then the interior looks great. You were sharing the first time for bucket seats, right?
Yes, 61 was the first time Studebaker put bucket seats in their cars, and in this car, and they're unique to 61 with this dimension because after this, in the 62 versions, they added a center console which made the seats 4 inches narrower.
And we've got little hawks in there.
As a one-year only feature of original upholstery, Studebaker embroidered their Hawk logo into
Right
the
in
fabric as part of that, along with the silver piping, which was unique to Studebaker.
Silver piping. Oh, that's great. That is just great. There's your Hawk. Return dash.
Yeah, very clean, very basic. Nice, it's all gauges.
Tell me about this air conditioner.
And the air conditioner, they didn't air condition a lot of these models, not from the factory, but in 61 they were using up basically what they had in the 59 and 60 Larks, and so as a part of that, the air conditioners in the Hawks were different from the ones that they used in the Larks, which started to become as integrated with their heating and ventilating system.
Tell me about this badge here.
Studebaker in 1961 offered to make the cars more exclusive. They offered a badging program, a serial numbered, serialized badge for the owners. Yeah.
You serial number Jackie.
My wife. This was her car. And in fact, I even went to the Studebaker Museum to do the research to find out what the fonts should be, the dimensions of the part. So have the prints for that part from the Studebaker Museum so that we could actually make it accurate to what it would have been in 1961.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's open up the hood for a second. I want to show that. That's great right there.
These Hawk hoods are so heavy.
Okay. There's a piece of plastic there on it. Go ahead.
Well, and again, these are some unique things because of the air conditioning.
Well, I mean, you got a piece of plastic on the air cleaner.
Yeah, well, we haven't positioned the car yet.
I gotcha.
But yeah, that's just to protect it so that we don't ruin the paint right in front of the gate.
Understood.
But yeah, everything here is nut and bolt authentic to the car.
So Studebaker.
That was the air conditioner. Used a York compressor.
I don't know if I have it. Yeah, I do have it right.
Yep.
Wow.
And there's the York model number tag on it. And so that's what they use. That's an authentic. In fact, believe it or not, that compressor came from a good guy I know who actually does the Excalibur air conditioners, which all used the Studebaker setup on the early Excaliburs.
Yeah.
So that's like the last one in existence, and I took it out of his inventory.
Wow. The last one in existence.
So yeah, they can get aftermarket versions. They don't have the same.
That's a massive air fan shroud.
Well, and for an air-conditioned car, I mean this was cut and trimmed specifically to make it long enough to capture clearance for the air conditioner parts.
Okay. Let's fire it up, shall we?
Sure.
We'll let it idle, and then we'll give it a rev. Amazing restoration. foot idle. Can you step on the brake for a second? How about those fins? All right, we'll take your foot off the brake. Those fins are fantastic. Nice. Let me just...
The tick here is cold. Have solid lifters. And so as it warms up, that little bit of noise that you do hear will go away as soon as it warms up.
Well, I didn't even hear any noise to begin with, so let's close the hood if you would.
Sure.
Is the car off? Oh, it's still running. That's how quiet it is.
Hear this like a sewing machine.
Just a little bit, yeah.
That little tick, that's solid lifters as they warm up.
I said she can make her bridesmaid's outfit to match the car.
Well, and they even had a modifier for the air conditioner, this rod, so it would clear the hood, because the standard ones were mounted down here.
Got it.
So it's, little stuff like
Oh yeah, little details. Well, let's have you shut it off for a second. You got the vent there as well, and the Studebaker there. Well, Pete, first of all, I know Jackie didn't get the chance to finally see the car at the end. So I just want to let you know she's a subscriber of the channel. She's watching in heaven. She's on a Chariot of Fire Flamingo color.
That's so. Some of these you do from the heart.
Yeah.
It's not always just about the car, but it's about what goes into it behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes all the difference.
Every time you drive this car, we're thinking of Jackie's car. Pete, thanks so much for being on My Car Story. A heartfelt moment. I'm feeling it. I'm sure the viewers are going to feel it. You did a tremendous job. What a way to honor your wife. Thanks so much for being on My Car Story.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.